Storer Communications Channel 5 presents High School Girls Soccer. Today from Paulsboro, it's the host Red Raiders against the Gateway Gators. Hello everybody, I'm Marc Narducci along with Don Norton bringing you all the high school girls soccer action right here on Channel 5. Two very young teams and two teams probably that are going to vie for a playoff spot this year as the cutoff date is October 23rd. We have a Paulsboro team that Don is 1-3 on the season, but they've played very tough against some good teams like a West Deptford and a Collingswood with close games. And even though they're two young teams, Christine Simon, one of the key leaders on this Paulsboro team.
Yeah, she's done very well for Paulsboro this year, but the key for Paulsboro is just to maintain the composure, get enough victories so that as the freshmen and sophomores progress and gain experience throughout the season, they're ready for the state tournament. And one good thing for them is they're a Group 1 school, so they're going to be competing against tougher schools throughout the course of the regular season. But come state playoff time, then they're in Group 1 and their team's more than enrollment, and they should do very well.
And of course, Gateway comes in with a 1-1 record, and Don with one of the premier players, maybe in South Jersey, only a sophomore, Lisa Boggs. She's really gotten the attention of a lot of people and is, again, as I mentioned, one of the top players around.
Yeah, Lisa Boggs is only a sophomore, and I'm sure the next 2 years a lot of colleges will be coming here to scout her because she's definitely a prime-time Division I prospect for the girls program. And what makes her so good is she's a leader on and off the field. She's always the first one to practice. She has excellent work habits, and she plays year-round. You'll see her at various indoor tournaments and for club teams on South Jersey throughout the area. So she's definitely a leader for Gateway.
Now, neither team really expected to be in the hunt for the Colonial Conference. You have more experienced clubs like Haddonfield and everything. This is a very important game, though, for state tournament considerations.
Exactly, because both teams want to get the ball rolling. They want to get some victories under their belt early because obviously as time rolls on they don't have to be worrying about collecting their victories for the state cutoff date. So a victory today for either squad is very important.
So it'll be Paulsboro and Gateway, two young teams, but a lot of talent on both sides. And we'll be back for the beginning right after this timeout.
The waiting is over. The Flyers' newest superstar is ready to play. Are you ready to watch? Cable subscribers can see Eric Lindros in action against the Boston Bruins Thursday, October 1st at 7:30 in a free preseason preview courtesy of Prism. And the first 10 viewers to call 1-800-82-PRISM after every Lindros goal win tickets to the Flyers home opener October 9th. Check your cable company for preview channel location and get ready for a new era of Flyers hockey exclusively on Prism.
Oh, I think we're certainly going to be competitive.
Really, we're looking for a great season. A great bunch of kids out there.
21 Sharon Franklin. And welcome back. Marc Narducci along with Don Norton here at Paulsboro High School. There's a good look at the home team. Paulsboro in the white, Gateway in the blue. There's Christine Simon, number 6, the young lady we talked about in the pregame. Two keepers today. It'll be Nicole Zamorelli for Paulsboro and Shelly Lawrence for Gateway. The other thing is, Don, we have to mention that Paulsboro playing without Melissa Young, who had already had 2 goals this season, out for the season. The sophomore broke her leg, and that's certainly going to be a key blow. We remember seeing her last year in a game we did for Channel 5 against Collingswood, and that's really a tough blow for this Paulsboro team.
She's an excellent player, and again, she really distinguished herself last year as only a freshman playing here on the varsity level, and that really will hurt the Paulsboro program this year.
Yeah, and Bob Urian doing a nice job bringing along this young Paulsboro program, and Dick Nelson, a guy that's been around soccer for quite some time here at Gateway. Okay, so Paulsboro trying to get possession. Remember, we play 2 40-minute halves as there's Simon going to feed down the wing. Simon's going to be all around the field. We'll be calling number 6 a lot today as she has the ball. Nice back pass that time to teammate Michelle Daniel, wearing number 3. Paulsboro now trying to go back to the keeper. A little bit of a dangerous play that time, and Don, it looks like we're going to have a corner kick right now for Gateway.
Yeah, one thing with a young team, obviously, defensively, they make a lot of mistakes, and there's a case right there. The goalkeeper, when she comes out, has to really yell and let the defender know that she wants the ball played back, and she really didn't that time. But again, it's an inexperienced young team with Paulsboro, but has a great deal of potential.
Lisa Boggs on the corner. And blocked away by Paulsboro's Wendy Hendrickson, one of the experienced players back there, number 37, the junior for the Red Raiders. Kelly Taylor on the throw, headed out there. Nice head that time by Sharon Franklin. Again, one of the few seniors on this Paulsboro team. Both teams have a lot of good young talent. Sue Master, number 13 for Gateway. Gateway again. Kelly Taylor trying to break down. And Gateway starting and just missed an opportunity out in front. Don ball remains alive. Kicked out by Paulsboro, and certainly Gateway's gotten the better of the territorial advantage in the early going. Paulsboro trying to clear it out again. Still stays in, and that time Gateway retains possession. So Gateway continues to show some offensive ability here. And there's number 16, Jennifer Mills, again a youngster, just a freshman for the Gators. Mills cannot trap it down. We also have to mention the condition of the field. They've done a nice job here at Paulsboro, but when it's been raining this much, the ball's going to be slick, and trapping is going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, the ball really skids, and obviously it's been raining since last Friday, so the field is really it's soaked, and it's going to be very difficult at times, especially late in the game for the players to cut.
Oh, there's a shot that time by Taylor, and Zamorelli with the save. And Nicole gets a pretty nice punt out of there off of Gateway, so it'll be a Paulsboro throw-in.
That was a nice play by Nicole because she got her body in front of the ball, caught the ball with the classic. Here you can see the shot. And the ball is, the keeper, Nicole, gets her body in front of it, cleans it up quickly, gets her whole body in front of it, and distributes the ball wide away from the build-up by Gateway. Nice play by Nicole.
And again, Gateway on the attack. Sue Master out there on the wing. It's going to be Paulsboro's ball. Goal kick for the Red Raiders. So obviously Gateway in the early going showing some good offense here. The Gators 1-1 as we mentioned, defeated Woodbury 3-0, lost to Haddonfield 2-0, and I guess if you're going to talk about division favorites, Haddonfield has to be the favorite in what has really become a very competitive Colonial Conference.
Yeah, the girls at soccer, the quality in Colonial Conference has really caught up with the guys, and they have some excellent teams. And losing 2-0 to Haddonfield is nothing to despair about because Haddonfield has a very good team, and only losing 2-0 with so many underclassmen speaks well for the future here at Gateway.
And you know, Kelly Taylor, number 5, as Boggs comes down and kicks it out, it's going to be a corner kick. That was off of Paulsboro's Ladine Camera. Yet another freshman, so it'll be a corner kick for Gateway. What I was going to say, number 5, Kelly Taylor, for Gateway in midfield, a very, very active player. We'll again be calling her quite a bit. There's Boggs on the corner. Ball goes away, kicked on with a right foot on that angle. A lot of teams, preferably, you'd like to see maybe a left-footed person there to do that and get that end-swinging type of motion.
Yeah, Lisa, she's hitting an outswinger with her right foot, hoping that she can get 8 to 10 yards out, so the keeper is just a little too far out for her.
There's a beautiful kick that time, but Paulsboro doing a nice job heading it out. And that was Simon, by the way, on the head ball. So now Paulsboro will try to go on the attack, but again kept in by Jen Bilstein, the freshman wearing number 20. But it's Gateway's ball. So the Gators, or Paulsboro ball, and Paulsboro with a few substitutions. I think Coach Orion will go to his bench quite a bit today, too. Which I always think is good. It gets everybody involved.
Yeah, it really does. Players realize that they have a chance to play, so they're sitting there, they cheer on their teammates, and they're ready at any moment to come in and contribute.
Gateway continues to put on the pressure. There's Boggs. Boggs looking for an opening. She'll get by one player. Going down the right side. She's tough down the wing and looking to cross inside. Hit out of there, and yet another corner kick for Gateway. I believe that's the 4th of the game already, Don, in the early going, and it really kind of shows that Gateway's gotten much, much better the advantage so far.
Yeah, they've really taken it to Paulsboro here in the opening minutes, and Paulsboro better tighten up a little bit defensively, or they're going to give up a goal soon here.
Boggs again on the corner. Gateway looking to back pass. Master. Back to Bilstein. Gateway again going inside, but right there on the spot is Zamorelli. Again, nice head ball by Jennifer Mills. Paulsboro still trying to get it out. Don, you can get in a little bit of trouble dribbling a little too much in your own zone like that.
Yeah, and in your back, your defensive third, you really want to just clear the ball wide through good, accurate passes. You never really want to dribble the ball out, only as a last resort, and that's one mistake the Paulsboro's been making here early, is trying to dribble the ball out instead of pass the ball wide.
Yeah, and there's Gabriella Morocco in your picture right there. Just came into the ball game for Paulsboro, and again, from seeing her last year, she's a very dangerous and explosive player. Morocco now trying to streak down the wing, but getting in there first was Sandy Hudson. And the Moroccas are a very famous name in local soccer around here.
Yeah, her father owns the indoor soccer rink over in Harmony Road, so she should be one of the better skilled players out here because she has the opportunity to play 12 months.
And I'll tell you what, that's a tremendous facility. We've done some games there for Channel 5. As Simon now crossing midfield, looking for Deanna Downs on the right wing, and she was onside. Downs now streaking down with a nice cross that time. Oh, just by Morocco. So the first good sustained offensive attack of the day for Paulsboro.
That was a beautiful cross by Deanna Downs. Just unfortunate for Paulsboro. Nobody was there to head the ball in, but that was a really nice played ball by her.
One time that time by Tony Thompson, and the ball just goes wide. So Paulsboro now making a little bit of noise on offense.
As much as the Gateway dominated the first 5-6 minutes here, Paulsboro just had 2 excellent chances to score. So they're definitely back in the game now, and it's good for their confidence because they really were on their heels the first couple minutes there.
And we have a stoppage here, a timeout on the field. Coach Urian coming out on the field. I believe Morocco got a little banged up, and that's who they're looking at right now, Don. She got a little banged up on the play before, and it looks like she's going to come out of the game.
Yeah, if they stop the game for an injury, the player is supposed to leave the field, so she must be replaced.
By the way, our officials today, John DeVito and the veteran Henry Mitchell. There's a good look at Jessica Sorovic, the sophomore, and she really can get a lot into those goal kicks, especially on a wet field. That's a nice kick she made. Now Simon coming the other way for Paulsboro. Has to get by a few. Paulsboro still attacking, but then Sorovic kicked it out. Into the game now for Paulsboro, by the way, Megan Markagine, number 32, a freshman. So the Red Raiders now on the attack. Again, Paulsboro with a nice move blocked by Cervic, and it'll be the Red Raiders on the corner kick. Good job that time by Jennifer Reichert, the freshman, wearing number 9.
Yeah, very nice play by Jennifer. Again, only a freshman. That's a really nice move. She cut the ball to her left and freed herself and tried to cross it in.
And Simon now on the corner kick. Pretty nice idea that time, but just a little bit wide. Don, how about on taking the corners and the kicks on these wet fields? I know when I used to kick and plant my foot, there'd always be some hesitation when it's this wet out. Do you think that's in the players' minds?
Yeah, so I think one thing to the coaches, too, they tell them they want to drive the ball, and they want to hit it out a little bit further, 7, 8, 9 yards, where the keeper has to have that little doubt in their mind, should she or should she not come out? Because obviously on a slick turf, it's harder for the keeper to plant her feet when she's going to make a save in the air.
Here comes Boggs. Boggs at midfield, has one to beat and does. Boggs still with the ball that time, and a nice defensive play by Henriksen. And in fact, I believe they're going to call a dangerous play that time on Boggs as she was kicking the ball while she was down on the ground.
Yeah, it's an indirect kick coming out. You can't play the ball on the ground, but it was a nice move on her part to beat two players, and she just was unable to beat the third, where she would have been in on goal.
There's Boggs again, looking to spread the field, and you're going to get that kind of bounce today. As Sue Master now streaking down the left side. Master again, but there's Hendrickson right on the spot, showing that veteran leadership on the back line. Taylor to Boggs. Taylor and Boggs form a nice little twosome there to Master. Gateway now will try to get on the right side, but there again is Hendrickson. And that ball went, I thought it had gone off Gateway. It went off the Paulsboro, so it'll be Taylor on the throw-in.
And Kelly Taylor's only a junior, and of course Lisa Boggs is a sophomore, so they have 2 years to really wreak havoc in the Colonial Conference.
Pretty nice throw, and it went backwards that time, so it's going to be a corner kick for Gateway. And on this side of the field, when will Boggs take it with the right foot, now it's a real dangerous situation.
Yeah, now she has the opportunity to hit an in-swinger, and she's going to hope that one of her teammates can head the ball coming in.
Oh, and she gets a beautiful kick in there, but Simon heads it out. Tried to keep in by Surovic. And it's out of bounds. It's going to be Paulsboro's throw. No score here in the first half between Paulsboro in the white and Gateway in the blue here in a Colonial Conference matchup. As we see this stoppage of play for substitution. Gateway keeps the ball in. Simon clears, and one thing, Don, she got away with it that time, but you always tell your players if you're going to clear it, don't do it the middle of the field.
Exactly, never clear the ball to the center of the field, because if it is intercepted, that's a place where you don't want to lose possession.
Oh, and Simon now getting it out to the wing. Chris Magazoo, number 33, just into the game for Paulsboro. Right there on the spot, though, is Shelly Lorenz. Neither keeper has had to make the outstanding save in the early going, and it's going to be a Gateway direct that time as Ladine Camera caught pushing for Paulsboro. So it'll be Surovic on the direct. Boy, she has a tremendous foot. So much so that Zamarelli had to come out and get that.
But that's a big advantage for any team, though, because obviously whether it's a 6 kick or indirect, direct kick in your own defensive third, just get the ball out of your area, and it just takes a lot of the pressure off having someone who can hit the ball that far and that accurate.
Hendrickson couldn't quite clear it. And Gateway kicks it out, or Paulsboro kicks it out, so it'll be Gateway's throw, Kelly Taylor. Master back passes to Taylor. Taylor can create a lot from the midfield, and she tries to switch fields. A very good idea that time. Paulsboro still trying to get it out, but Gateway controlling. Boggs.
Wow.
Look at her step over that way. To Lee Wedgner. She'll try to go to the left side. Good spread out this time by Gateway. Again, a little too much passing maybe in the zone, but there's a shot and he scores! Sue Master on the shot off the rebound. And I don't know if Zamarelli ever saw that, Don. She was screened a little bit.
Yes, I think she was screened by one of her defenders in front, but that's an excellent shot. I mean, the ball was well struck, and nothing the keeper could do about that. The thing that was nice for Gateway was that they were really knocking the ball around very nicely there in the offensive third there against Paulsboro. I mean, the girls really displayed some nice composure under pressure. Here we see the ball being played out, and that's just a beautiful shot right there. Nothing the keeper could do about that. She was screened by probably her sweeper or stopper in front of her.
So we'll give Master, we'll credit, I believe it was Master on the goal, and Gateway leading 1-0. And again, Don, I know you've done a lot of coaching. In fact, this year you're the assistant coach at Rutgers Camden's men's team. The one thing you want to tell your players is if you can one time it first time, it's the best thing to do, and that's what happened on that goal.
Yeah, and obviously it's the element of surprise, and the keeper didn't have time to react or to position herself, and that's just a well-struck ball.
So Gateway, which has gotten much better of the action in the first half, as there's Master again going down the left side. Master now will switch fields, but kicked out of there by Paulsboro. By the way, good to see Gabriella Maraca back into the game for Paulsboro. She went off for a while, a little shaken up. That time, Christy Fay doing a nice job for Gateway, keeping it in. Red Raiders now trying to kick it out, but again, Gateway's been relentless on the pressure. And that time, Sandy Hudson with a nice ball. There's Boggs. Oh, beats two people right now. Boggs going in. She's dangerous. Hendrickson got a little piece of it, and that was just enough to unsettle her. Boggs again with tremendous trapping ability she has. With the long shot that time.
Wow.
And she scores. So Lisa Boggs putting on some sort of exhibition, and Gateway now leads 2-0.
Yeah, she just really, she's got excellent skills. I mean, she has 2 and 3 players on her. She changes direction inside, outside of her left foot, right foot. She really is an excellent player for only a sophomore. And again, just strikes the ball low to the right-hand side of the keeper and in the back of the net. Here you can see Lisa. Just tees it up, and she's got her goal. But right before that, obviously, she had 2 or 3 players on her, left foot, right foot, inside, outside, change of direction and speed. And all I can say, Mark, is she's an excellent player, only a sophomore.
Third goal of the season, only the third game for Gateway. So Paulsboro finds itself in a very, very deep hole in the early going, as in a game that really Gateway has dominated to this point. And that was a nice clear that time by Bilstein. And kicked out of there by Jessica Surovic. Again, only a sophomore. You really have to like the future of both of these teams, both playing with a lot of young players, as Michelle Daniel now tries to go down the right side. Maraca back to Daniel. Daniel has a little bit of an opening. She'll go right in, but right there did not get too strong a shot off, and there's Shelly Lorenz.
A nice pass by Maraca, though, always looking for her teammates, and that's the type of player that you need on the field, and that's the type of player she's been for Paulsboro. Here we can see Lisa Boggs. This is more important, I think, than the goal. Just her the skill she displayed here. Look, stepping over the ball, left foot, inside the right foot, then boom, gets her shot off real quickly. Back of the net.
And back to action here is again Paulsboro showing a little bit of offense. Deanna Downs trying to go down the right side. She has Maraca. Maraca gets in there just in time. Cleared out of there, though, by Gateway. That was Bilstein, who may have saved a goal. Paulsboro continues on the attack, and Bilstein again. So Jen Bilstein, the freshman, doing a nice job defensively for the Gators.
Good pressure, though, by Paulsboro, and support, and obviously you're down 2-0. You don't want to let up another goal, and if Paulsboro could get another goal before halftime and get back 2-1, then they're really back in this game. So Paulsboro needs to keep the pressure on, and they're doing well right now.
Ooh, that time it was a nice shot by Ladine Kama, the freshman. And I think Lorenz may have initially misjudged it, but had the presence of mind to get back in time.
Yeah, she was coming towards the ball, and the ball just kept floating, and obviously she was able to get back just in the nick of time to get her body underneath the ball.
It's interesting. I don't think maybe people that haven't played Don realize how many decisions a keeper has to make and how little time they have to make those split-second decisions.
Here we can see the shot on the direct kick through a wall. The ball just keeps floating back, and there you go. Keeper made the correct save. Hands in a W position, body in front of the ball.
The other thing is that they always teach the keepers that if at all costs to hold on to that ball, because if you have a loose ball out in front, it could certainly be a dangerous situation.
If that ball was another foot higher, I would just recommend for the keeper just kick or just tap it over the goal and give up a corner kick. But obviously, don't give up a rebound in front of the net.
There's Master. And one thing this Gateway team has done very, very well in the early going is a lot of teams have a tendency just to go forward. They've done a nice job back passing. That time Master kicks it wide.
Yeah, in soccer lingo they call it the change the point of attack, and they're not very predictable. And some teams just always come down the right side, always come down the left side. The Gateway girls, you can see they're very well coached, and if they see to the right side that Paulsboro has a couple defenders, boom, they'll change and go to the left side. And they change the point of attack, and they really knock the ball around very nicely.
You talk about well coached. Dick Nelson's been around the game of soccer for quite some time.
Yes, he has. Everybody knows him, and he does a real nice job.
Began the boys program at Gateway in the early 70s. But I'll tell you what, one thing, even though, as we've mentioned, Gateway's gotten the better of it here, is they lead Paulsboro 2-0 in the first half. Paulsboro's shown some flashes, and you like that. You like the fact that they're a young team, they're not giving up, and they're really chipping around the goal.
Yeah, they've worked very hard, and you just got to give Gateway credit. I mean, Lisa Boggs has put on quite a show here the first half, but I mean, Paulsboro's a young team. They have a lot of talent, and again, it's important for them to get their victory so that come state playoff time, they're in the Group 1 playoff, whereas Gateway obviously being the bigger school, the Group 2 playoffs, and then I think Paulsboro could do very well this year.
Although the one thing looming in Group 1 is going to be those Haddonfield Bulldogs, a very experienced team.
Very. Well, at least Paulsboro, if they do make it to the playoffs, will be well tested and ready to go to war.
Gateway again, but kicked out of there that time by Paulsboro's Tony Thompson, the freshman. If we've sounded redundant saying the word freshman a lot, it's because there are a lot of them out here. A lot of good, young, talented players for both teams.
Which is great for the girls' game in South Jersey and soccer overall, that so many young girls are deciding to play soccer and play very well.
Gateway again keeps it in. That time it was Christy Fay. And Fay only a sophomore. And it's going to be the Red Raiders throw. Michelle Daniel. Paulsboro's had a little bit of success working that right flank with the Deanna Downs there. But here's Boggs. So dangerous with her dribbling ability. 3 people she gets by. Boggs still has it. Looking to make the cross. No, she'll go down the right flank. Beautiful step over that time.
Wow.
Boggs on the cross that time, just wide, and right on the doorstep was Andrea Williams. And once again, Lisa Boggs is putting on a show. So we have an injury right now. Wendy Hendrickson down. So with the score, Gateway 2 and Paulsboro nothing. We'll be back after this timeout.
Most folks agree when you've come to Jim Boggs Auto Rebuilders, you've come to the right place. Their men are I-CAR trained and nationally certified. Using the worldwide Blackhawk and Carolina unibody repair systems, they restore your car to original factory specifications. Their new Hunter 4-wheel aligner ensures that all 4 wheels are properly aligned. A custom mixing system in downdraft booth enables their expert staff to match your car's color and apply a high-quality lasting finish. Yes, when you need collision repairs, Jim Boggs Auto Rebuilders, 658 Green Street in North Woodbury is the right place to come.
It's free for 2 days. HBO's 20th anniversary free preview. And it only happens October 2nd and 3rd. Sample HBO hits like Doc Hollywood, The Naked Gun 2.5, Other People's Money, and Boys in the Hood. Plus exclusive originals that could only happen on HBO. And watching could win you a 1993 Dodge Intrepid ES or Dodge Caravan ES. For details, tune into HBO's free preview starting Friday, October 2nd.
Watch HBO's free preview on Channel 5 and call for a free installation of HBO.
I'm always ready here.
There's your score. Gateway 2 and Paulsboro nothing. And Don, a tough injury. Wendy Hendrickson, as we see right there, carried off the field. And a very tough blow for Paulsboro because she was really their best defender.
Yeah, she really distinguished herself near the first half for Paulsboro. She was by far the best defender, and that's really going to hurt Paulsboro in this match, being down 2-0. And hopefully, the bottom line is hopefully she's okay physically, and that's what we're... Here we see Lisa Boggs. This is just excellent skill here. She puts the ball through the legs of the first player, second player with her right foot, third player. Then she squares up to the goal, which is what you want, inside of her foot, then makes a hard cut on a step over there, 2 moves right there, outside of her right foot, so she's got 4 different moves, and there's the 5th one, the inside of the left, boom, then she hits a ball bending away to the far post, and nearly scored right there, or her teammate nearly headed the ball in. That's just excellent individual skill on Lisa Boggs' part.
Don, that step over, that is not an easy move to do, and keep your composure on a wet field.
That's what they call a prime time move, and I'm sure next 2 years a lot of college scouts will notice stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, as we've talked about before on telecast, as Morocco now looking to streak down, Bilstein right there, Morocco going on the right wing, has to beat Bilstein, crosses it in, Servik kicks it out, Deanna Downs right there, Downs trying to cross it, Morocco again can't get all of it in front, and again with a shot and the score by Megan Marcagine. So Paulsboro persistent in front, and they narrow this lead to 2-1.
And now they're right back in the game. Here they are down 2-0. Their best defenders out, and within a minute or so they come back and score. And they really showed a lot of composure in front of the Gateway net. A lot of the guys, especially watch the high school guys play. As soon as they get in there, they want to shoot. The girls really showed a lot of teamwork and composure. They're knocking the ball around very nicely. Here you can see the ball played in front. Gateway, their inability to clear it really hurt them there because they had 3 defenders, only 1 person for Paulsboro, and that ball should have been cleared out. But again, a nicely struck ball and a score for Paulsboro.
So the freshman Megan Marcagine with the goal and really showed a lot of persistence there. There were 2 Gateway defenders there.
Yeah, she's come in and done a real nice job over here on the left wing for Paulsboro.
So Bob Urian showing a lot of depth on this team. And again, it's Paulsboro, and Morocco has really made things happen since she's come into the game.
Now you can just feel the whole momentum has shifted out here. The girls from Paulsboro, they're really pumped. The fans are really cheering. It's 2-1, and they're really going to take it now to Gateway.
And now we have Simon on a direct kick, too. And I'll tell you what, with the way the ball's bouncing, this is from a dangerous position. She got all of that one that time. A little bit over the goal, but not a bad thought.
That's just a real big goal for Paulsboro because obviously they're down 2-0. Their best defender just got hurt, and that's really going to put them back in the game. And especially if to have a freshman score, it gives everybody a real lift out there and gives them additional confidence.
And that ball is cleared out by the Red Raiders. It'll be Gateway's ball. Jennifer Mills right there with the throw-in. Both teams showing exceptional skill, especially since they're playing on such a wet pitch that really makes trapping difficult. Controlling the ball, tough at all, but again, Paulsboro trying to clear it. There's Mills looking to switch fields. Blocked by Simon. Simon now coming out. And she kicked it off Gateway, so it'll still be Paulsboro's possession. Marcagine again, streaking down that left side. There's Paulsboro's Faye, though. Faye has it. Nice turn that time on Marcagine, but Markagine coming back on her, kept in there by Tara Clegg. So now Paulsboro showing some pressure here. Tony Thompson on the kick. And finally cleared out by Gateway's Lee Wedgner. The Gators, there's Master on the left side, and she's really had some nice runs in the early going. Kelly Taylor will take the throw-in for the Gators, who now lead 2-1 against Paulsboro here in the first half on a wet day here in Paulsboro, but it hasn't hampered the skill level. That time, though, it's going to be a corner kick now for Gateway. Is that one off the Red Raiders? And again, on this end swinging kick, Lisa Boggs is going to be very, very dangerous. Boggs. Great kick that time, and no one there, but the ball was right where you'd like to see it, Don.
That was a beautiful struck ball on her part, and a lot of the special plays, the restarts, it's just the E-word, effort. I mean, you can have some perfectly designed plays, but if somebody doesn't go up, make the effort to head the ball in, it doesn't amount to a lot. And that was just a matter of effort, and the Paulsboro girls really went to the ball and cleared it out.
Thompson doing a nice job on the clear that time, just getting it out. Markagine again, and she's really caused some havoc here in the last few minutes. Servik. Markagine on the block, and there's Thompson going for the ball, but Gateway got to it first. That was Lee Wedgner. Deanna Downs looking to go to that right wing to Maraca, and Maraca gets to it, Donna. I did not think she had a shot at that. Shows some outstanding speed on the right flank.
Yeah, real nice effort on her part just to get to the ball, much less cross it over.
So it'll be a direct kick for the Gators. Big boot that time by Sandy Hudson. Master on a nice back pass to Taylor, trying to work that left side. There's Kelly Eldridge for Paulsboro. Boy, that left side with Master, Taylor, and then of course Boggs sweeping in from the middle. That's a dangerous triangle, this Gateway team.
It's really difficult to mark because, I mean, really, Lisa Boggs, you actually want more than one defender on here, but you can't because the other two players are so talented, and they're just having at times having a field day coming down the left side there, and it's nothing Paulsboro can do about it. This girls are just really, really well skilled, and they work together as a unit. That
throw-in got a little bit away from Taylor that time, which will happen on a day like today. Kicked out of there by Simon. Initially Zamorelli called for, but Simon not wanting to take any chances, and there's Taylor again on the throw. As you see, wiping her hands, it's really tough to get any kind of grip. And that ball goes off the Red Raiders, so it'll be a corner kick. And the ever-present Lisa Boggs there. Scored her third goal of the year earlier in this half. That had given Gateway a 2-0 lead. Paulsboro coming back on the goal by Markagine. Oh, tremendous corner that time, and right there is number 16, Jennifer Mills. Misjudged it a little bit, but that was a nice corner kick.
Yeah, had Jennifer been back about another foot or two, she would have been able to head that ball down on goal, and that probably would have been in the back of the net.
You know, Don, if you're heading a ball, you'd rather go forward. Anytime you back up a little bit, you're not going to get any kind of accuracy on it.
Exactly. You'd rather be coming forward than coming back because it's so difficult. And obviously, when you try to score on goal heading, you try to hit the ball down to either corner because that's the most difficult save for a goalkeeper. Too many young players hit the ball at hand level, head high for their goalkeeper. It's an easy save, but if you hit the ball down low to either corner, it's very difficult for the keeper to make the save.
Mm-hmm. Ball out, it'll be the Gators' throw. No, now we're going to have, it looks like a Paulsboro. It looked like there was a foul there. No, ball just, now they got it straight. There was a foul, so it'll be direct kick for the Red Raiders. And it'll be Simon taking it. Tries to go to Morocco that time, got the results as Bilstein headed it out of bounds. So again, Paulsboro making a nice run, and they continue to work both wings very well. Of course, Marc scored from the left side, well, really more toward the middle of the field, but they've gotten production from both wings today. There's Morocco. Nice back pass that time again. But Hudson right there. Hudson's played a steady first half. Master going for it. Couple players bunching up and getting the ball away is Tony Thompson. A play on the goal right now, and first time that time by Chris Magazoo, and a nice save by the keeper, Shelly Lorenz.
Yeah, Shelly got caught. She was going to come out. She realized that she came out too far, didn't have the opportunity to win the ball, and she's just very lucky the ball was shot wider. That really would have been in the back, and that probably should have by Paulsboro.
Magazoo with a nice one touch that time, too. So Paulsboro, which you'd have to say, Don, was fairly well outplayed in the early going, has really made up for things here in the second part of the first half.
I tell you, just when you think they're down 2-0, they come back and score, and then they're on their heels again. But they just keep battling back, and they come in spurts. But they're playing very well, and they're using the wings especially well.
They really are. They're using all the field. And there's Boggs, and we haven't seen her come back defensively a lot as she's tripped up that time by Simon. So it'll be Gateway's direct.
Here you can see the ball played down. See, right now the goalkeeper's, what do I do? And by then it's too late, and luckily for her, the ball was hit wide.
You know, it's interesting on a play like that, when we saw Cervic trailing her, you like players that can one-time it, but that time maybe, in retrospect, she had a little more time to make a move.
Yeah, she really should have cleaned the ball up, put it on her foot, and then just gone in and made her move 1v1 versus the keeper.
But that all comes with experience. Simon trying to clear it away, and then out of bounds, kicked out by Hudson, so it'll be the Red Raiders throw. So Paulsboro all of a sudden has offensively come to life here. The Red Raiders trail Gateway 2-1. Tara Clegg on the throw. And it's still going to be the Red Raiders' possession. And Simon right there, and she's being watched by Debbie Schultzes, and you certainly want to watch Simon right around here now. Oh, nice move that time by Paulsboro. Jennifer Reichert still has it. Reichert kicks it in there that time, and
keeper had possession, then was knocked into the cage.
Yeah,
so
running into the goalie, so.
Yeah, should be a direct kick coming out at the point of the foul.
Boy, but I'll tell you what, Jennifer Reichert, the freshman for Paulsboro, making a nice move down the left side that time. The Red Raiders continue to threaten.
I think it's so nice, too. Both these girls' teams are so unselfish. They're always looking to pass the ball. And
well, that time they called that the ball didn't go out of the goal area. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, here we see. Cuts the ball inside of her foot. Boom. Look for the cross. Keeper doesn't make the initial save, but then, boom, has possession. Knocked into the cage. Obviously a foul, a direct kick coming out.
And Tony Thompson was right on the spot. Now another indirect situation now for the Red Raiders. So Simon's going to take the indirect. She has Reichert inside. Morocco, you figure, is going to be running toward the goal. Michelle Daniel right next to her also. There's your score. Reichert right there. Oh, and they step over it, and a nice play that time. Ball goes out, and they get a corner kick out of that. So on the indirect, where they couldn't go directly in on goal, they did a nice job on a little step over.
Yeah, obviously indirect must be touched once by your teammate, and looking for a little deception here. Let's see how Paulsboro does on one of their few corner kicks today.
Simon on the corner. Oh, that's a good ball inside of there. Magazoo first gets it. But there's Boggs coming back. Boggs will take it herself. Past midfield, and now Gateway's on a good offensive advantage. Boggs, she has Taylor in the middle. Master on the left wing. Boggs continues to go down the right side. And kicked away by Simon for the corner kick. And that's one instance, Don, where maybe she held the ball a little too much.
Yeah, she should have gotten rid of the ball. I think though after a while her mind just snapped there. How long she dribbled? 60, 70 yards right there. I tell you, Lisa's got to be exhausted. That was a heck of a run there. But yeah, she really should have gotten rid of the ball a little sooner.
Tell you what, if I had the skill she had,
Yeah.
I'd probably hold it too.
Yeah, she really is. We could talk the whole show just on her abilities.
Last few seconds now, they're counting down in the first half. And it's been an entertaining first 40 minutes as Gateway got the early territorial advantage and jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Paulsboro getting a goal to cut things in half, so we're at halftime now. And the Gators now lead Paulsboro by a 2-1 score. Back for more after this timeout.
Most folks agree when you've come to Jim Boggs Auto Rebuilders, you've come to the right place. Their men are I-CAR trained and nationally certified. Using the worldwide Blackhawk and Carolina unibody repair systems, they restore your car to original factory specifications. Their new Hunter 4-wheel aligner ensures that all 4 wheels are properly aligned. A custom mixing system in downdraft booth enables their expert staff to match your car's color and apply a high-quality lasting finish. Yes, when you need collision repairs, Jim Boggs Auto Rebuilders, 658 Green Street in North Woodbury is the right place to come.
The waiting is over. The Flyers' newest superstar is ready to play. Are you ready to watch? Cable subscribers can see Eric Lindros in action against the Boston Bruins Thursday, October 1st at 7:30 in a free preseason preview courtesy of Prism. And the first 10 viewers to call 1-800-82-PRISM after every Lindros goal win tickets to the Flyers' home opener October 9th. Check your cable company for preview channel location and get ready for a new era of Flyers hockey exclusively on Prism.
And beginning of the second half just underway. Gateway in the blue leading Paulsboro 2-1 here at Paulsboro. And Don, you have to say, if you're the Red Raiders, even though you're down one at the end of the half, you really made a nice showing.
Yeah, especially with so many underclassmen out there for Paulsboro. They kept their heads up, kept battling, and they really could have packed it in being down 2-0. Instead, they came back, got a goal, and they're right back in this game. And they've had some really nice opportunities to score here, and they have 40 minutes, and which is certainly a long time to score some goals.
So in the first half, Sue Master and Lisa Boggs getting the goals for Gateway. For Paulsboro, it was Megan Markagine. And again, a tough break for Paulsboro in the first half as junior defender Wendy Hendrickson was taken off the field. She's not back in the game. We certainly wish her the best.
That's a big loss because she's a very good defender and she's a real leader out there on the field. She not only covers her area well and marks well, but she's very vocal and she helps her teammates defensively just by her talk alone out there.
And we already mentioned Melissa Young, the fine sophomore, out for the season for the Red Raiders. So Bob Urian having to compensate for some very, very tough injuries for Paulsboro, and certainly Paulsboro hasn't given up. As there's Maraca, she had an excellent first half, puts on a fine move. She's got outstanding speed too. She can blow by people, but that time Sorovic with a nice defensive play. Boy, Jessica's just a sophomore too. So Christine Simon will take the throw-in. Or make that the corner kick, I'm sorry. Simon has an outstanding foot. Kicks it in there.
Oh.
Deanna Downs that time. And it scores.
Wow.
Deanna Downs on the corner kick from Christine Simon. And we now have a tie ball game.
Well, second effort. Originally, the keeper had her hands on the ball, but Deanna just kept going to goal, and the ball came loose, and she was there to knock it in.
Excellent job by Simon.
Here we can see the corner kick. The ball struck high, far, out in front. Deanna Downs is marked from behind, which is what you don't want, and boom, she just follows the ball into the cage, and Paulsboro's right back in this game, 2-2 now.
And Don, I think you hit the nail on the head with just the hustle that she had.
That's what they say about going to goal, and she didn't give up after she originally touched the ball. She kept following the ball, and that goal was just a result of hard work on her part.
And that's her third goal of the year. So Deanna Downs, who has had some exceptional runs from her wing position, converts. And we talk about all the young people, but that was a fine senior combination of Simon and Downs. Two of the experienced players really showing some veteran leadership. You know, Don, we had talked about, too, a right-footed person kicking from that side that Simon took it. I said you'd like to see a left-footed person. Well, obviously, it didn't matter on that corner kick.
No, again, as we mentioned earlier, too, is it a lot of set plays, indirect, direct, corner kicks. A lot of it just boils down to effort, and she had the effort. She went to the ball. She was marked from behind, which is something you shouldn't do, and she stayed with the ball and put it in the back of the net. I mean, you can put all the X's and O's on the chalkboard that you want, but if the players don't have the effort or go to the ball, then it really doesn't mean much. And she just displayed a lot of character there, going to the ball, and that's a nice goal for Paulsboro. Get them right back in this game. Be right at the beginning of the second half too. Gives them a lot of momentum.
And now, if you're Gateway, you kind of have to regroup, because really you had this game under control. The Gators led 2-0, and this Paulsboro team has just not died. It's refused to quit. Tara Clay kicking it up that time, but we had an offsides call as on the far left side, Chris Magazoo, the sophomore, was off.
And Paulsboro, too, has been working both wings very well, which means when they do have possession, Lisa Boggs is in the middle of the field as a center midfield for Gateway, so she doesn't have possession of the ball. You don't want her touching the ball a lot if you're a Paulsboro fan. And the more often you have the ball away from her on both flanks is very beneficial to your team.
Oh, Sorowick has just shown a tremendous foot today. But cleared out of there by Paulsboro's Tony Thompson, who's also had a solid game. So the Gators will try to regroup, and there's Simon kicking it away as Boggs tried to get possession. And it'll be Gateway's ball on the direct. Just over midfield, Sorowick on the kick. And we know she can put it right near the goal mouth, too. So this could obviously be a dangerous situation, even though it's inside midfield. Gets good foot on it. But a fine defensive play by Michelle Daniel. Paulsboro clears it away. Bilstein running it down. Nice play that time, Don.
Yeah, really, a lot of players would just kick the ball out of bounds to give the opposition the throw in at midfield. A nice heads-up play, realizing the ball was last touched by a Paulsboro player and is a Gateway throw-in. Those are the little things that win games, that give you possession of the ball more often with more opportunities to score.
Kelly Taylor on the throw. Good long throw that time. Boggs. Boggs still in there. She's dangerous, but she's called that time, I think, a little bit of kicking or tripping or something.
She must have pushed off with her hands from behind that we didn't see, so obviously a direct kick for Paulsboro coming out. But Paulsboro's done a nice job this half, keeping the ball wide and out of the area of Lisa Boggs.
I think most teams, you know, when you coach at any level, you try to stress the importance of using the whole field. And certainly, as you accurately have mentioned, Paulsboro's done a fine job of that. Sorowick going back to Lorenz. Lorenz right there.
Plus, the thing that's so nice about the girls' soccer, these girls are so unselfish. I mean, a lot of times the guys have they have egos, and once they get inside the 18, they're looking to shoot and always score for themselves. But these girls are so unselfish that, if anything, they pass too much inside the other team's box. They should look to shoot a little bit more.
And that comes a lot with confidence. There's Boggs again on the cutback. Gets by two, but couldn't get by the third.
Yeah, she needs a little bit more support from her teammates. Too many of the teammates watch her, and I think they're in awe of her skills, and they've got to realize that, hey, they've got to support her so that she should always have two angles, two people to pass the ball to at all times. And unfortunately, at times, they spend too much time watching her excellent ability out there.
And that ball is kicked out. So the Red Raiders on a throw, it'll be Tara Clegg. And again, Paulsboro continues to get the better of the territorial edge. There's Boggs. Cuts it in. Now that left side's open, Don. They really haven't been working that. The left side's open a lot. They keep going to the right and the center, and they're stopped. Here comes Paulsboro the other way. Reichert still with it, going for Marc on the right wing. She's on sides. Marc at a tough angle. Kicks it, stopped by Lorenz. It'll be a corner kick.
Nice play by the goalkeeper to keep the angle there and cut the near post off. But again, a good play both ways. Good passing on Paulsboro's part, and nice save by the goalkeeper for Gateway.
Boy, how about Marc on that right wing, Don? I'd hate to be a defender having to mark her.
Yeah, she's deadly out there, especially the fact that she usually just her versus the left defender. And 1v1, she's very difficult to contain.
And here's an interesting sub right on the corner. Deanna Downs, who scored last time from Simon on the corner, comes into the game.
Yeah, if I was Gateway, I'd make sure I have at least one person on here, if not more, if not two.
And that one goes over, so it'll be a goal kick for the Gators. Score tied at 2 here in the second half. Marc Narducci along with Don Norton. Glad to be bringing you girls soccer right here on Channel 5. Speaking of Paulsboro, Channel 5 will be doing Paulsboro and Woodbury football coming up. And yeah, that's going to be on next week, Tuesday and Thursday at 8. And that's going to be some matchup. Glenn Howard's team debuts with a freshman quarterback, Kevin Harvey, and all he does is score 3 TDs. So that'll be a great one right here on Channel 5. Looking forward to that. Back to the action, Taylor. Boy, Taylor has a nice throw, and it is not easy to throw the ball in on a day like today.
Yeah, she gets a great deal of height and distance on it, which forces the Gateway defense to move back because there is no offsides on a throw-in. So that's a really dangerous weapon for Gateway.
And that ball was kicked off Master. Dana Bierman, the freshman, doing a nice defensive play for Paulsboro. Wearing number 10. There's Bierman. Taylor. Kicked out by Paulsboro, though, so Taylor will take the throw. Oh, no, now they're saying it's the other way. Shouldn't have let my reffing instincts take over, Don. We had a push that time on the throw-in. Oh, now it'll be a direct kick for the Gators. And again, Sorovic with the big foot. That time tries to go to the right wing. A nice idea as Mills was wide open. Looking for Boggs inside. Boggs now gets the rebound. She's dangerous with the left foot that time.
There it is.
And it scores! So Lisa Boggs, we hadn't called her number in a while, but all of a sudden she's that dangerous. Kicked it in with the left foot.
Yeah, nice play. Unfortunately for Paulsboro, the ball really should have been cleared out. I mean, the ball was cleared right to her in the middle, which is the spot you don't want the ball cleared to, and secondly, of all people to clear it to. So that's a tough break for Paulsboro right there, but you got to give Lisa credit. That's a beautiful shot.
So Boggs, her second goal of the game, 4th of the year.
Here we can see the ball's played right in front to Lisa, and that's money in the bank right there.
Don, sophomores aren't supposed to be kicking with their opposite feet like that. What's going on here?
Well, I can see why Lisa's a member of the New Jersey State under-16 select team, because she plays year-round and she has that type of ability.
Deanna Downs. Again looking for Morocco, but that ball just went just out of bounds. And again, a nice look, though, from Morocco, who's really been pesky on that right side all game.
Plus, every time Gateway scored today, Paulsboro's battled back. So this game certainly isn't over.
Unofficially, about 25 minutes left here in the second half as the Gators now lead 3-2. And what has really been an entertaining game here between these two Colonial Conference foes. Hudson clearing it away for Gateway. And again, a nice defensive effort by Paulsboro. It'll still be Gateway's throw. That time it was Sharon Franklin clearing it out. Crystal Horn now into the game for Gateway, wearing number 17. Taylor with a long throw, and Boggs, I think, pushed off that time. Yes, and it'll be Gateway's ball going the other way on the direct. So an interesting strategy here. It looks like Paulsboro's used Marcagine now on the back line. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. That was Ladine Kama, who's now trying to mark Boggs. Boggs! Look at that cutback dribble. Wow. Goes through two. Gateway with Boggs to the right side, trying to make a run. And again, we have a trip, and it's going to be Paulsboro on the direct. Erin Murphy, number 24, into the game now for Gateway. As is Joan Eimer. So Gateway also going to the bench, and both teams, Don, have not really shown a lack of effort when they go to the bench. They've remained strong.
Yeah, both teams have got a good lift from their substitutes today, which is, again, important because players get injured throughout the course of the year, and you've got to have that depth come state playoff time.
I've always felt that if you play a lot of people, too, you keep them interested. If they know they're going to play, I think your intensity of practice is higher, and I just think it really helps a team. This is a long game. 80 minutes is a long time to play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has so many benefits on and off the field. It keeps everybody involved in your program. It makes practices much easier because the guys realize if they work hard in practice, they'll give even more minutes. And I know for me, coaching at the college level, that we try to play as many players as possible because practices are just more intense and players learn more and give a better effort if they realize, hey, I'll at least get an opportunity to play.
If they can somehow get it to Boggs, she was open in the middle there. Now she's being marked, but Taylor on the throw-in. In fact, she's looking for Boggs. That was off Paulsboro. Now Gateway continues to walk down the field. Kelly Taylor, just a solid midfielder for this Gateway team. And we have a little jockeying on the head ball, and Boggs was pushing a little bit that time. It's the old thing, you have to, especially a ball in the air, you have to play the ball, not the person.
Exactly, and so many players try to grab his shirt or whatever because they realize they can't get up and win the ball in the air, and they do that. And the referee's going to, they're going to catch them, especially down there in that area.
Boggs, who looked to make the nice pass to Murphy. Murphy one-timed it. The ball stays in, though. And now it's kicked out by Gateway. Paulsboro possession. Going to be a goal kick for the Red Raiders. Christine Simon now coming back into the game for Paulsboro. We get a good look there at Sharon Franklin, the senior. So Simon, who just comes into the game, as you see right in your picture, will be taking the goal kick. Of course, Christine getting the assist on that Deanna Downs goal of that corner kick here in the second half. That had tied it, and then Gateway went ahead on Boggs' second goal. They lead 3-2. Gateway suddenly putting on a little bit more pressure now. Hudson with the big kick that time, but caught by Lorenz. And I'll tell you, the way the keeper did that, the way Lorenz did that, you liked, Don, because she got down on the knee, made sure the ball stayed in her possession.
Yeah, especially today on a slick field. The ball's wet, and if it does hit the grass, it's going to take off. So you want to really be cautious on a day like today.
Does that make a keeper change her strategy as far as playing that way, too? Not wanting to take on any bounces, or will you be a little more aggressive
you're definitely more cautious, and you're less likely to play a ball on your foot. Or I know as a coach, I tell my defenders never to play the ball back, even on a foot pass. I'd rather have them turn it up if possible, because the ball it's just so slick, and it will take off on a keeper. But the bottom line is you want your keeper always to play well fundamentally and to never take risk or be very cautious anyway, and especially on weather conditions like today more so.
All right, that was a big kick that time by Tony Thompson. Sorowick with a nice turn.
Yeah, Jessica, she's only a sophomore, and I know we've mentioned Lisa Boggs a lot, but Jessica, she's only a sophomore, and defensively she's been a real force back there for Gateway, and she may not get a lot of the clippings because she doesn't score the goals like other players, but she's a very good player. She's tall, strong, hits a really nice six kick and direct kick out of her own end, and she's going to be a real force defensively for Gateway for several years.
And she positions herself very well too. By the way, Gina Majuri, number 23, the sophomore, into the game for Paulsboro.
You can see Jessica, she always goes ball side from the sweeper position, which is what you want. So which means that if one of her defenders in front of her gets beat, she's right there to stop the opposition down, and that's what you want.
Paulsboro now, Master, who got the first goal, streaking down the wing. Master looking for someone to pass to, has Franklin to beat. Paulsboro now dribbling it. You want to get them clearing it out, and they do to Marca. Master kicked out by the Red Raiders. That was Michelle Daniels, so it'll be Taylor on the throw-in. There's Franklin. Can't clear it. Taylor on a long cross inside of there, but again, Lawrence. And on a wet field and everything, Lawrence has not bobbled many balls, showing very good hands as a keeper. As here comes Marca again back. Has Sorowick to beat. And Sorowick gets in her way, and we have some obstruction there that time.
But I'll tell you, though, that was a really good play on her part, though, because she was ball side. Her defender got beat, so she was right there. And even though the ball got played by her, she was smart enough just to get her body in front of the opposition, and that's just a little nice little play on her part. She stops the attack.
And does it with an indirect kick, too. Marca inside that time, and almost getting a foot on it was Jennifer Reichert. Well, the action's been up and down in this game between these two Colonial Conference teams. Paulsboro winning twice last year over Gateway, but right now Gateway leading 3-2. And I'll tell you, Don, late in the game with Sorowick taking all the goal kicks and all the direct, all those long kicks, she may start to feel that a little bit. That's a lot of pressure on anybody to take all those kicks. And we'll see it again as another goal kick. Unofficially, about 20 minutes left here in the second half. Remember, if there is a tie at the end of regulation, 2 15-minute overtimes, no sudden death. Marca on the turn. Again, streaking down was Michelle Daniel, but right there on the spot was Lawrence. Or excuse me, make that Zamorelli, the other keeper. No, I was right the first time with Lawrence. Come on, Mark. Boggs at midfield. Look at her, trying to step over that time. Good defensive play by Paulsboro. Boggs to Master. Master has an angle on the left side, has Franklin to beat. Boggs that time and kicks it out. It'll be a goal kick for Paulsboro. Nice defensive play that time. Franklin keeping her ground on that.
That was a good effort both ways. Nice look by Lisa Boggs, her teammate, but yet defensively Paulsboro recovered quickly and had two players come over to pressure that shot.
Boggs to Master. Gateway keeping it in the offensive zone, but kicked away now by Michelle Daniel. Taylor misses it. Nice block by Faye. Faye coming the other way to Boggs. Boggs gets it a little ahead of her that time, and a good defensive play by Tony Thompson. Hudson has a long run, but she does a nice defensive job. The back pass, though, by Paulsboro, and we had mentioned Gateway doing a lot of back passing in the first half. Now Paulsboro also doing a good job that way. Sorowick with a fine defensive play, and then cleared away by Jen Bilstein. Tony Thompson, and we had an offsides that time. That was pretty close. And Tony Thompson has really been a force here. Very underrated performer, number 12. Just a freshman. She's really had a nice game, and it looks as if, Don, that now they're marking her on Boggs.
Yeah, because obviously Lisa Boggs is a good player, but I tell you, it's she's having opportunities. So she's winning here. She just won a ball right there in the air.
Stacy Bates, number 27, into the game for Paulsboro. Streaking down the side is Magazoo. Magazoo with the one time, that will go out. Goal kick for the Gators. So Shelly Lawrence right there has not been tested too much this half. They did get the goal in the corner, but not sure that was the keeper's fault that time, as Downs was left unmarked, and as you had mentioned before, as we get a handball there, she just willed her way to that goal.
Yeah, that was just a tremendous effort on her part, and you really can't fault the keeper. The defense really should have been a goal side so that she didn't get the opportunity to head the ball to begin with.
You had mentioned a good point. You don't mark from behind, and for the obvious reason, when you do that, you give someone the opportunity to get the ball. And when you're that close, you just can't do it.
You have to, the big three, A, mark goal side, B, you give you the great effort, and C, you stay with your mark. A lot of players mark up originally, and then as soon as their player starts running, forget to stay with that person and mark them.
Boy, that was a nice stick that time by Simon. Ball goes out. It'll be Gateway's throw. Coming back into the game for Gateway, Erin Murphy. And Taylor will take a well-deserved break. Master that time on the blast. That's blocked. Rebound, and right there is Zamorelli. That rebound that time by Lee Wedgner. Murphy to Master. Master has Franklin to beat there on that side. Master still keeps it, but kicks that one out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick for Paulsboro. Gateway leading 3-2 here in the second half.
I think we have a goalkeeper change too.
And that is freshman Dana Antipuna. You know, I just think Coach Orien's trying to get as many people into the game. You know, this is a televised game, Don, and these youngsters work so hard. He's trying to give as many people exposure, and he's really gone deep to his bench, too.
I think it's great for the program. I mean, it's not like Paulsboro's going to go undefeated this year, but they're going to give as many girls the opportunity to play on the varsity level as possible. And the freshmen are going to make mistakes, and the sophomores are going to make mistakes, but they're going to grow and develop and when they become juniors and seniors. This team is really going to be excellent.
I'll tell you what, too, when they've gone to the bench is, again, Paulsboro on the break that time, hit the post! Marcagine hit the post on that shot!
Oh, wow, I thought that was more of a crossover there and just kept floating up there and hit the crossbar.
And I'll tell you what, I think it startled Lawrence more than anybody.
Wow. Just when you think Paulsboro's down at 3-2, and they just came 3 inches away from tying it up here. Here you see coming down the wing.
Boy, just to keep her balance.
Yeah, there's the cross. Nice cross to the far post, and boom. 3 inches away.
So as we turn to action, it'll be an indirect kick for Gateway. There's Surovic there. As Paulsboro was offsides, but boy, I'll tell you what, Megan Marcagine, the freshman who has one of the Paulsboro goals, Certainly been impressive. And we had mentioned Paulsboro using a lot of people. They really haven't suffered when they've gone to the bench.
No, usually, you would think, gee, with a freshman or a sophomore in the varsity level, that there'd be a drop off in the quality of player with that position. The player would hurt them out there defensively, or what position. But no, not with Paulsboro. The freshman, sophomore coming in really distinguished themselves today.
There's Downs. Nice back pass. You could see by watching the way both teams move out here that they are both very well coached. They're doing a lot of things, a lot of good fundamental things that you'd like to see in players. The back passing.
And the girls at this level, even though they're only freshmen, sophomores, a lot of them play year-round, and you can see that in the way that they do play. The days of the boys and the girls just playing for 3 months in the fall are over. These kids play 11, 12 months a year.
There's Marcagine, but she can't get to it that time as Lorenz making a great play, coming out, very decisive on that, and clears it.
That's what you want. Just clear the ball out of bounds. Don't even attempt to make the save.
I'll tell you what, you talk about a good fundamental play that time as Maraca was right in on the goal. I think Maraca, number 25 for Paulsboro, does as good a job, Don, of shielding the ball from a defender as anybody. And again, that's good coaching. Heroic. Cleared out of there by Jen Bilstein. Master and Franklin. And they're saying now that Master pushed off, so a nice defensive effort by Franklin. It'll be a direct kick.
And since Paulsboro hit the crossbar, they're really pressing here. They got the momentum back, and they really got Paulsboro back on their heels again. Here's another corner kick for Paulsboro, so the momentum is really starting to change now.
Yeah, and right there in the middle of all this is Megan Marcagine again. Of course, this was a situation that Paulsboro scored in the second half. And there's Christine Simon, who has, as expected, has had an outstanding game. And that time, that one got away from her, so it'll be a goal kick for the Gators. Taylor comes back into the game, as does Debbie Schultzes. Gateway also going pretty deep. Coach Nelson going pretty deep to his bench, too. Paulsboro continues to press. Oh, and Tony Thompson again on a ball that keeping it in the Gateway zone. Heroic now tries to clear it. Franklin hits it, and it'll be Taylor on the throw-in. Boy, everybody from Gateway moving up. You heard the horn. I believe there was going to be a substitution, but it happened too late, so play went on. And now it's throw-in for Paulsboro. And we'll have a handball that time, so it'll be Gateway going the other way. This is kind of a dangerous situation, and as we see Boggs there, we have not called her number. I think if you're Gateway, you want to get her a little more involved.
Yeah, you want her to touch the ball as much as possible, and the last 10, 12 minutes she's been kind of silent out there because Paulsboro, defensively, they've pushed up more, and they've given her less space to operate, and they're really putting the attack on.
That was an offsides call that time. Simon on the clear. Morocco almost made a nice trap. And again, Sandy Hudson, the steady senior, making the fine defensive play and clearing it away. Number 14 for Gateway. There's Thompson.
And according to our program, she is the only senior on Gateway, which, wow, speaks well for their future.
It certainly does. Boggs. Boggs lets it go through. She's dangerous in this area. Boggs on the right foot.
Oh,
Scores!
wow. Oh. Wow, just beautiful. A step over, beat two of the players, cuts to her right, and puts a ball, just high over the keeper's hands. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about that.
So Lisa Boggs, her third goal of the game, and she's just putting on a show. We said that she had to get a little more involved. All you have to do is get it to her around that area. And she has the one fundamental skill that every player wants. She can beat an opponent one-on-one.
Yeah, that's what you mean. Once she breaks down the defense, oh, here we go right now. Here you can see going to her left this time. Cuts it hard to her right. Boom, immediately squares up, which is difficult, and then hits just a beautiful shot. There's nothing a goalkeeper can do about that. I mean, that's just an individual. That's just excellent individual skills right there.
So we've seen her score on a left-footed blast, a right-footed blast. We saw her score when she got by about 3 defenders. She's really putting on a show today.
Just the way she looks and just her demeanor, that reminds me last year of Vanessa Rubio of Cherry Halise. Very similar.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you compare someone to Vanessa Rubio, Sorowick takes the kick and she gets everything into it, but that goes over the goal. I mean, here's a young lady that went to North Carolina, and North Carolina is kind of the UCLA of women's soccer. They've won, I think, 6 straight.
10 straight.
I think it was 9 out of 10, isn't it?
10 out of 11, I think.
Or something like that.
Yeah, Anson Dorrance runs it. He was my instructor last year at the coaching school in Florida, and he's an incredible coach. But, yeah, the girls he gets down there, they are players, and I believe Vanessa Rubio from Cherry Halise was his only recruit last year because he has so many returning players coming back.
Yeah, it's almost like a national all-star team. So the point I'm trying to make is she's down there playing with all those talented players. If you mention Boggs in the same breath as Rubio, then that really bodes well for Boggs.
Yeah, it's only a sophomore now. She's on the state team already, the under-16 state select team for New Jersey.
So Gateway now with a more comfortable 4-2 lead, but Paulsboro has shown that it won't quit. The Red Raiders have been a pesky group all day. Trailed 2-0 in the early going, cut it to 2-1 at half, and tied it up at 2-2. But Boggs getting a couple of goals here in the second half, and I'll tell you what, this is a very, very formidable Gateway team. Oh, look at Sorowick, faking to go back to the keeper, had the presence of mind. Or no, I'm sorry, that was Christy Fay that time. Another sophomore for Gateway. I'll tell you that, Don, Gateway in Group 2, and I guess all titles lead through Cinnaminson when you talk about Group 2. I mean, they've been a dominant state power for the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, if Gateway's going to win or be successful, they're going to have to beat Cinnaminson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they need good games like this today to prepare themselves. I mean, they're not going to go undefeated, obviously, but they've got to be prepared for the state tournament, which is the ultimate goal anyway. So what does it matter if you have 2 or 3 conference losses against very good quality teams where your players improve, and that's what they want.
Debbie Schultes. And Franklin clears it away. Good back passing. Look at Gateway on a nice short passing. Little triangle they're working to Boggs. Boggs to Master. Those two have worked it well. Master now. Master going in. Taking the shot that time. A little bit wide, and it'll be a goal kick for Paulsboro. Unofficially, Don, only about 5 or 6 minutes left here in the second half. That ball was cleared away by Tara Clegg. Paulsboro now trying to make a rush. They've been a little quiet offensively in about the last 10 minutes or so. And there's Clegg on the far side taking the throw. Bob Urian behind her. I'll tell you what, this is a young program at Paulsboro, and I think Coach Urian has done a fine job bringing this along. I think maybe the year that Paulsboro makes its statement is maybe a year from now. I think they could maybe get into the state tournament this year, but I think with another year of experience and the young ladies, play year round, I think this could be a As Master going in there, blocked that time. Great defensive play by Stacy Bates, who saved the goal.
Excellent play by Stacy. Not only did she make the save, she goes out to the flank there to stop another Gateway player. Just an excellent defensive part on, defensive play on her part. I mean, your team's down 2 goals, you still give an excellent effort. But what you're saying about the Paulsboro program, I mean, they're all freshmen and sophomores. I mean, they're going to make mistakes, and but they're going to learn, grow, develop from a year of playing in the Colonial Conference, as well as a lot of these girls playing year-round. So next year, then they really start to make the mark in the South Jersey soccer scene. The thing that's so encouraging for them is these girls are 14, 15 years old, and they're out there displaying some really nice skills. And they're, like we mentioned earlier, a lot of times you put freshmen and sophomores in. As a coach, you just cross your fingers and hope that they don't hurt you. But these girls are coming in and they're contributing to the overall play of their team, which is so encouraging.
And I'll tell you, you really have to be good to keep up with the level of competition in the Colonial Conference. Besides Haddonfield, Collingswood, obviously West Deptford, year in and year out, has had an outstanding program. I mean, just to be 500 in this league, you really have to do something.
I mean, if your team, obviously most teams, their ultimate goal is to do well in the state tournament. And I'd rather, as a coach, I'd rather have my team lose a couple games against hard, tough competition in conference play than get to a state tournament game 15, 16-0, but never having faced a quality opposition.
Magazoo trying to make the cross, still has it, has Hudson to beat. Magazoo still with it. Servik and Fay cleared it out of there. And they caught on the handball that time, it looked like. No? I thought I heard a whistle, and I thought I saw a handball.
Yeah, there was a handball on the against Gateway. Should be a direct kick for Paulsboro. And a good opportunity, too, here.
Ladine Kama, another freshman, number 15, will be coming right... and now it's going to be Simon instead. Simon on the kick that time, and that went wide. So Gateway leading late in the second half by a 4-2 score. In a game that has not lacked outstanding individual and team play.
It's been a good game, too. Really good attacking soccer. Both teams had a lot of good opportunities both ways, and it wasn't one of these games where the coaches just played everybody back on defense and the ball was just knocked around at midfield.
Sorowick, who has just had an outstanding game. I have a little soft feeling for sweepers, and that is the end of the game. So a fine effort by both teams, and Gateway now improving to 2-1 on the season with a 4-2 victory over a very, very tough Paulsboro team. There you see the happy Gateway Gators as they improve to 2-1 on the season. We'll be back to wrap it up after this timeout.
Most folks agree when you've come to Jim Boggs Auto Rebuilders, you've come to the right place. Their men are I-CAR trained and nationally certified. Using the worldwide Blackhawk and Carolina unibody repair systems, they restore your car to original factory specifications. Their new 100 4-wheel aligner ensures that all 4 wheels are properly aligned. A custom mixing system and downdraft booth enables their expert staff to match your car's color and apply a high-quality lasting finish. Yes, when you need collision repairs, Jim Boggs Auto Rebuilders, 658 Green Street in North Woodbury is the right place to come.
It's free for 2 days. HBO's 20th anniversary free preview. And it only happens October 2nd and 3rd. Sample HBO hits like Doc Hollywood, The Naked Gun 2.5, Other People's Money, and Boys in the Hood. Plus exclusive originals that could only happen on HBO. And watching could win you a 1993 Dodge Intrepid ES or Dodge Caravan ES. For details, tune into HBO's free preview starting Friday, October 2nd.
Watch HBO's free preview on Channel 5 and call for a free installation of HBO.
There's no physical way she can make that save.
And welcome back here. Marc Narducci along with Don Norton as Gateway an impressive 4-2 victory over Paulsboro. And, you know, we said in the pregame, Don, it was Lisa Boggs, and she was certainly the difference today with the hat trick.
Yeah, she's just an excellent player. I mean, we could talk all day about her, but the fact that was nice for Gateway is they got a win on the road here in a Colonial Conference match, and it's going to prepare them eventually for the state playoffs. And they did it with only one senior on the entire team, so they're going to continue to grow and develop as a team. And I'll tell you, Gateway, end of the year with some experience under their belt will do really well, but especially next year when these girls are back next year as sophomores and juniors and seniors, they're going to be excellent.
And any team has to be kind of strong up the middle, and with Sorowick back there on defense, that's really an impressive defense, and she also played very, very well today.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we talked about Lisa Boggs a lot, but Jessica played a real nice game at the sweeper position. She covers for her teammates, and she does a lot of little things to make her team better. That in soccer, sometimes it's like the offensive lineman in football. She doesn't get a great deal of credit, but she does a lot of things back to defensively to make her team much better.
Now, if you're at Paulsboro, you have to still take some positives out of a game like this and out of the season so far. Okay, they're 1-4, but every tough team they've played tough. Collingswood, West Deptford, they certainly played this Gateway team tough. They never quit.
Yeah, they got 2 injuries. They had a player injured today. They got another player out for the year. They brought freshmen in who contributed, and that's the key. They didn't hurt them, and they battled back. I mean, the game was 3-2 late in the game. They had the opportunity to score and win. They came 3 inches away on a cross from scoring and tying this game up.
Yep, so that wraps it up here for Don Norton. Marc Narducci saying that final score once again, Gateway 4 and Paulsboro 2. Thanks for watching, and continue watching the best of local sports right here on Channel 5.
I think at this point, preseason polls are one thing, during the season polls are another. When you get to the end of the year, I mean, this is only 3 weeks. You know, a lot of teams still have to play each other, and I think that in Marc's infinite wisdom and the people at the Inquirer and the other polls around, if these teams knock off each other, the Group 1 teams can rise to the top.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, we've had debates with Delran High School before where a lot of people thought a few years ago Delran was the best team in South Jersey, and they were being slighted because they were a Group 2 school, Marc.
See, I disagree with that, John.
But you know the arguments were made, though,
I know
right?
the arguments were made, and that year, if you recall, Woodrow Wilson ended up #1. They were 11-1. They had to play the extra playoff game. Delran was undefeated. The bottom line is, and this is what I always do in a ranking, can Team A beat Team B? That was a team with Marvin Goodwin, who's now starting at UCLA. I mean, they had a lot of excellent players on that team. In my mind, I still think Woodrow Wilson was a better team than Delran. There is not as much small school bias as people think. You look at our wrestling in the Inquirer. Paulsboro, our Group 1 school, has been #1, I think 7 of the 8 years, including, I think, the last 7 years in a row. You look, I mean, we had Audubon #1 in baseball for a while last year. They're a Group 1 school. The bottom line I always say is, can one team beat the other?
But why is it easier for these teams? Why it seems like a coincidence that there's never a Group 2 or Group 1 football team that can beat the Group.
Here's one of the problems.
3 and 4s.
Let's take Paulsboro as an example. Tremendous team this year. And what hurts Paulsboro is they only play in the Colonial Conference. Now, when you do the wrestling top 10, they wrestle out of the league. They wrestle Oakcrest, which is a top team. You take an Audubon in baseball. They played all the top teams.
Catholics
right. In football, and especially in the Colonial, where you have no non-league games, you're stuck with playing Group 1 and Group 2 schools. And it is tougher. I'll be the first to admit it is tougher for a team like a Colonial Conference team. Now, there was another argument last year. Cinnaminson, which is a Group 2 team, they were 11-0. They were wondering why they weren't considered more. Well, they had a chance to play Holy Cross, and they decided not to. Well, you can't have it both ways.
Well, Steve? In other sports, you can adjust your schedule from year to year, and you have the opportunity. Paulsboro goes out and wrestles the best in New Jersey. Some people might debate that, but they do. They wrestle the best in New Jersey.
I really liked that Highland match a couple years ago. Did you, Steve? I'm joking. Don't get mad at me in Paulsboro.
Who says Highland's the best in New Jersey? Now, here's
hey, how about that Phillipsburg match? Was that good? Oh, go ahead. I'm only joking.
Okay. The other situation is Audubon. Audubon can see that their baseball is an up-and-coming program and can throw a Gloucester Catholic on the schedule, or you can't do that in football. You're locked into a 9-game schedule. You're locked into your conference. You're also locked into your group playoffs, which is really something that, and people look at football in a different light too. Numbers maybe do mean a little more in football because some teams go two platoon. It's a 48-minute game. I don't believe that if you get your team in shape, I think that you can have two-way players in high school and really be effective on any level. But at the same time, that's where I think a lot of the bias comes in. You're running it at a place like Wilson or Washington Township. Maybe you're starting 18, 19 kids, maybe even a full two-platoon system. And they're all big, strong, quick kids because they have more numbers to pick from.
Well, first of all, he makes some interesting points, and I've said this, I've written this in the Inquirer, the only team quicker than Paulsboro in South Jersey is Wilson. And the other thing is Washington Township, they're a Group 4 school. They must start a minimum, I saw them last week, 7 guys both ways. So even though they have a lot of numbers on the sideline, they are basically doing the same thing Paulsboro's doing. They're using a lot of the guys the same way. I just keep saying, can this team line up against this team and win the game? And maybe that isn't the best way to do it, but that's at least how I've always done it. Now, Steve and I were talking off the air. Paulsboro was 6th last week. They're 6th this week. Wilson lost, and they're still ahead of them. Well, the bottom line is I still think Wilson's a better football team than Paulsboro. But that's why you have these polls. They're opinion-based. Just because the Inquirer has a certain team doesn't mean that. You're going to have plenty of argument. In fact, Holy Cross will not get a chance to play Washington Township, so you don't know what will happen.
Let me ask, you had an interesting point, which I agree. The Colonial is stuck in the Colonial, and they can't go out. Will there ever be a time, I know the Colonial is kind of one of those tradition-type conferences, where the Colonial will split up like an American National type division and then play some non-conference games?
I don't think they should. First of all, you don't build a program so your team can get up higher in the rankings.
Well, it's not that, but it would create more interest. Don't you think more fans would be interested to see, a Paulsboro, Delran maybe, or as an example?
John, the Colonial's a great situation. And I think if it's not broke, you don't fix it.
And like the Rose Bowl.
No, I think that the Colonial's going to stay the way the Colonial is.
So we'll get stuck seeing Washington, Michigan every year in the Rose Bowl. Maybe next year Penn State. And we don't see anybody. We can't see those good teams play anybody else.
Well, I agree with Steve. And plus, if you're an athletic director, one of the hardest things to do as an AD is getting non-league football games. I mean, that's different. When you have 9 games and you can schedule them, you're just not going to break them up. They have tremendous rivalries. And let's face it, every year there isn't a Colonial team that's going to vie for number 1. And I'll tell you what, if you can't vie for number 1, what's the big thing,
Okay. Let's, since we're talking about splitting up conferences, let's talk about 2 teams that'll be waiting by the phones today, actually. There's a meeting in the Olympic Conference to decide the fate of Deptford and Gloucester Catholic. Your opinion on the move, the reasons those schools would want to jump to the Tri-County. Is it strictly a football move, Mark?
They will tell you no. I mean, any school will tell you no. I'm a firm believer that what happens in football has a major bearing on how athletic decisions are made. Now, Gloucester Catholic is well, I guess they're a Group 2 size school, to be honest with you. They're a smaller school. Deptford surprises me a little more. They're a Group 3. Yes, they're a small Group 3, but they're still a Group 3. It's not like these teams in the National Division they're playing are a lot bigger than they are. I think what their worry is, they're looking into the future, and they see their enrollment in the future continuing to dwindle. Well, if that happens, then maybe it's not a bad move. I thought Deptford was representative, and I think Gloucester Catholic's representative too, but everybody's always looking, I don't want to say for an easier schedule, but I guess I'm saying that.
Yeah, I don't know if you were here last year. We had Milt Fredericks on, and he was thinking that a lot of the ADs and a lot of the teams think that he believes it's more a football move, and they don't look at the other sports, like do they have the swimmings and the cross countries and the tracks, or will that kind of mess things up? Steve, what's your opinion on the move?
Well, I think that you're looking at 2 very different type schools. Deptford has been a traditional school in that league. Gloucester Catholic was an independent school for a lot of years. wanted to get in the league at the cost of almost anything and jumped into a real tough league in the Olympic Conference. Now, here's a situation where, you know, I really think that there's always going to be the smallest school in every league. And, I mean, that happened with Cinnaminson, up in Burlington County, down to the Olympic, back to Burlington County. Somebody's always going to feel like they're at a disadvantage. Well, that's just a fact. There's always going to be the biggest school. There's always going to be the smallest school. And there's disadvantages to be in the biggest school, too. Group power points and that sort of thing. You know, I think that it's an interesting move. I think that one of the interesting things that's going to come out of this that hasn't happened in about 30 years is Gloucester Catholic and Gloucester in football.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Okay, we're going to continue. Boy, that'll be a big one.
You better cancel his policy.
Okay.
He's getting a little out of hand.
We're going to take a break. Continue this talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Robin Rieger. Join me every Monday night at 7:30 for County Connection, where we will feature events and information concerning Gloucester County. This month we catch up with Robert Hedges at Glassboro High School, get you started on your 1992 tax returns, and take you back in time with our historical tour. All that and more on County Connection, Monday nights at 7:30, only on Channel 5.
And welcome back. Just having a little bit of fun. Before we continue, the special offer going on through November sometime, you can get a free upgrade of cable. If you have Prism and you want HBO, Showtime, Playboy, or Disney, call me, 853-5559. We'll get you a free upgrade. If you don't have Prism, you want to see Eric Lindros, and believe me, he is the real thing. He's going to be the real thing. You don't want to miss out on some exciting Flyer action. Get Prism now. We won't charge you to come and hook it up. Give me a call, 853-5559. And if your friend, they don't have cable, they want it, I think it's like $40 to get cable installed. I'm not sure. It won't cost you anything. Give me a call next few weeks. I'll set you up.
Boy, now you're selling cable too?
Now I'm selling cable, yeah. You know, there's like a TV and VCR in this for a top salesperson. So, hey, anything to get a free television. Okay, where were we? We're talking Gloucester Catholic and Deptford. Real quick, and then I have one more point about this. What is your feeling? How do you think the vote's going to be? Because I know it is very tight, the Olympic Conference letting them out.
I think they're going to let them out.
Steve, do you think the same thing?
Well, I really haven't followed that closely. Mark would have a better idea of what the ADs think. I think they should let them out.
Okay, I talked to some people, by the way, from the Tri-County Conference, and I think only one school voted against Deptford and Gloucester Catholic moving in. But one of the people that I spoke to mentioned that Gloucester Catholic could probably become stronger by this move, because a lot of the people who live in Glassboro, Mantua, Mullica Hill, Pippin, or wherever will now send their kids to Gloucester Catholic, because now instead of having to travel 20, 30 miles to see them, they'll be right in their own backyard and they'll be able to see their kids play. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't think anyone sends their kid to a school so they can go see their games. This isn't college where they're going off to Penn State. I mean, I don't agree with that, no. No, I don't think that'll have any bearing.
What's your thought on that, Steve?
Well, if that's true, and I'm not sure that it is, I think that they'd lose just as much maybe to Paul VI as if what you're saying is they'd be taking St. James kids and losing Paul VI kids. And if we're talking about football players, that's sort of a wash at this point.
Maybe Paul VI would win a game if they got some of Gloucester Catholic's kids, Mark.
By the way, let me just say this. The Olympic Nationals, someone had mentioned that as a tough conference. The Olympic Nationals is one of the weakest football conferences around. Yes, they're the big three. There's Wilson, Deptford, who are good as anybody, and Pennsauken, who's pretty good and will give Deptford a very good game this week, if not beat them. But after that, it's a terrible league. I mean, it's ironic that the two teams that are leaving both have very good shots of making the playoffs. If Gloucester Catholic goes 2-1 the next 3 weeks, they're going to make the playoffs again. And Deptford certainly, I think, if they go 1-1 in the next 2 weeks, has a great shot at getting there.
Okay, let's talk about a football player who we had a chance to see. Mark, we had a chance to see him against Woodbury. Kevin Harvey, the freshman quarterback at Paulsboro. You've seen a lot of players in the Delaware Valley over the last decade. Freshman, I mean, where does this kid rank?
I'll tell you, he ranks maybe at the I think he does rank at the top. Not only a freshman, John. Steve, I don't know if I've seen a better sophomore than Kevin Harvey. And the only thing is, you know, he's 14 years old. He's getting all this press. He's getting all this hype. How he handles that. I mean, it's not easy for people our age when people tell us we're doing a good job and all. Can you imagine this kid reading that he's averaging 23 yards a carry and he's an explosive player and a surefire Division I prospect at the age of 14? So how he handles that, and if he can continue to maintain his work ethic, he'll be as good maybe as anybody that's come around here in a long time.
Now, Steve, you're around Paulsboro a lot. You have his numbers. Why don't you just read us some of his stats and then give us like the fielding around there, how the kid's handling all this?
Well, first of all, these stats are gaudy. You know, if you look at Kevin Harvey's stats, 23 rushing attempts this year. Now, keep in mind that 4 times he mishandled a snap and fell on the ball. So, 406 yards, 17.7 a carry. These are official stats. These are from the Paulsboro films. 135.3 yards per game. He's also 11 for 17 passing for 115 yards. He's his total offense in just 3 football games is he's got 521 yards of total offense in 34 plays. It's really 8 touchdowns and 50 points. The kid's run the ball 23 times. 4 times he fell on it on mishandled snaps. So now you're down to 21 times running the ball, and 8 times he's end up in the end zone. He gets tackled about half the time that he runs the ball.
Definitely the explosiveness to make the big play. How do you see the Paulsboro speeds, Mark, matching up against the strength of Sterling this Saturday?
I see. In fact, that's going to be our game of the week in Friday's Inquirer that we spotlight, so I've done some work with that. I don't see Sterling keeping up with that speed at all. Again, other than Woodrow Wilson, I don't see anyone in South Jersey keeping up with that kind of speed. And the other thing is, Steve, people don't mention this, but that fullback Davis is one of the unsung players around. He just levels people throwing his body around.
Yeah, James was an offensive tackle last year, and he's a good athlete, and Glenn Howard moved him to fullback. And, you know, here's a kid that's, you know, Kevin Harvey's gotten a lot of ink. Jason Diggs has 306 yards rushing. A lot of that is because Jason Diggs is a good runner, but James Davis has opened some big holes for Jason. You know, that really, you know, talking about the Sterling game, Paulsboro doesn't really try to establish Kevin Harvey. Kevin Harvey has really, of his runs, the 8 touchdown runs are big runs, most of them. The rest of the time, it's really establishing that tailback, and I think that's what they're going to have to do against Sterling. Sterling's big up front, and Paulsboro's not as big. You know, I've seen Sterling. Sterling's not a bad team. I think this is going to be Paulsboro's toughest test in the regular season.
I don't want to go out and jinx anybody. However, Paulsboro wins this. This would be, well, I'm going to go on a limb and say this now, and I know it's a far, you know, 7 games or whatever.